fun to go live, you know?
It is.
All right, here we are. We are live. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Real Short Box. My name is Darren.
My name is Supreme Chancellor Kevin.
I'm Donald.
And we are here tonight, and you might notice we have a fourth person joining us today. This is Pete.
Hello, how are you?
Say hi to Pete, everybody.
Pete, how you doing?
Pete brought us a lovely can of chili beans as a thank you for having him on the show.
I do like chili beans.
Are those Hershey chocolates on top of the Hershey bean?
On the chili beans? Would you like one? Would you like a kiss?
It's too late for that. That was a week ago.
He does like kisses.
I'll kiss you later.
I could have used that a week ago.
And Pete, in your honor, we also brought this lovely World Championship belt here.
Oh, that's mighty fine of you.
Well, you know, mighty fine indeed. We are mighty fine people here.
Only if you do a good interview will we give you that championship belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, just so you know, and we are going to tease this for later, Pete was actually Hawkeye's photo double in the first two Avengers films, on top of Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I think others. So we're going to have a lot to talk to him about. But the key topic of today is going to be CGC.
Yeah, I'm going to mess it up.
CGC book grading, as well as CBCS. But before we do that, just a real quick reaction, guys. Pete has alerted me that there is a lot of casting that has been put out for the new Batman film, and I want some initial reactions. So, Donald, Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Okay, so when they did the Gotham TV show, I don't know the actor's name, but I
know who you're talking about.
He did a really good Cobblepot. I thought he did a really good job.
He did. It was different, but
yes, it was different.
He did a good job.
But it's not the Penguin that I grew up loving and knowing.
Hashtag not my Penguin.
Right.
So, exactly.
So Colin, if he puts on a little weight, I could see it, you know, but he's going to have to put on.
I don't think he is.
He's going to have to put on
there
some weight on
been
Colin.
some photos that have leaked online, and
Yeah.
he's very regular.
So he's not going to go full method and just go all the
It
way.
doesn't look like it.
Pete, give me your thoughts on Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Okay, so the director, I believe Matt Reeves, he released a video the other day of Robert Pattinson in the suit, the new Batman suit. And it's very reminiscent of Batman Year 2, if I'm not mistaken. So Batman's second year, and you can tell the suit it's not very high tech. It's kind of got, you can even see the stitching in it, which is interesting. But I think it's different. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. I need to see probably in motion. But I mean, we'll see. It looks different, which is good. But I'm going to take a wait and see approach.
Well, from what I heard, there was two different costumes, right? They're saying that he's going to wear two different ones. So
yes.
This might be even like the prototype.
I think that's what it is.
And it looks kind of like the Gotham by Gaslight kind of, you know, Elseworld style costume, the one we got to see. So yeah. I'm thinking that's probably earlier, and then it goes into the more advanced costume later.
Yeah.
Please don't make it an origin story, though. Please.
We've seen enough of it.
Don't believe it is. I think he's already gotten started.
We're done. We know who he is.
Copy that whole movie with Ed Norton where he just...
Not even. If you don't know who Batman is, get the fuck out.
And
get out.
Good point.
Get out.
And I
you know what? The first Batman movie was...
We had the best Batman origin
babies
movie.
that don't know who Batman is. They don't...
And I know
out of the theater.
That's vicious,
we will probably revisit this in a full-length podcast. But finally, Kevin, Edward Nygma, a character very close to your heart, is being played by Paul Dano. Just your quick thoughts.
You know, I like him as an actor. I'm hoping for the best because hopefully he can give the true justice to the character that unfortunately Jim Carrey didn't do.
Oh, Jim Carrey was...
Much as I like Jim Carrey,
so good.
He was copying Frank Gorshin a little bit because Frank Gorshin was trying to outdo Cesar Romero on that old Batman TV show. So people think...
he tried out originally for the Joker.
And he lost out for it. So people think that he's just another version of the Joker who just does riddles. Like, no. There's more to that.
Yeah,
and hopefully we will see. I told you my ideas would be how I would have done a Riddler in a movie. You know, I just hope it's just done right. Riddler is a brilliant man. You know, you got to see his brilliance. You got to see him, you know, form riddles and conspiracies.
Right. Yeah.
Really mess with your head.
So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and
riddle me that.
My glasses on.
Oh, your educator.
What about Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman?
Oh, well, hold on now. Now, there's only 3 people here, and I'm not going to give my thoughts on Zoe Kravitz. She was fine in Mad Max, but, you know, I mean, who wasn't?
Right.
So here's my thing. So I'm bringing the glasses out. By the way, we'd like to welcome someone here who's actually visiting us from New York. Thank you for joining us today. She is one of our
audience members.
Yeah, we're very glad to have her. What's up?
We
got the shopkeeper here as well.
One of the shopkeepers is here.
Excellent.
Lord Reza.
All right, so what we're going to talk So right now, what we're talking about is CGC and CBCS grading.
PGX, guys. Let's not forget PGX.
PGX based in Oregon somewhere.
Somewhere in Oregon. 91455.
They're still in business.
People still get their stuff graded.
They do. They're just unfortunately not the most trustworthy for different reasons.
I've
heard rumors. I don't know if it's true.
A coupon for a free dozen Voodoo Donuts.
You don't say.
When you get your book graded now.
Really?
No.
Oh.
So Donald, I'm going to come to you first, and I kind of want to build a small little case here before we move forward.
Sure.
So selling key books versus collecting them. I'd really like your thoughts on this because I know we've had really in-depth discussions about this, and I'd love for you to share with the audience.
Okay, so I would say collecting versus selling. Here's my big thing, guys. If you're just wanting to collect a particular book, let's say, for example, someone like myself would happen to have created a web series called The Blue Beetle Ted Cord Returns. It's on YouTube. You can look it up.
Can we flash this in the post-production?
Flash.
Yeah, just flash
Blue Beetle.
Cue that flash.
Anyway, so I did this web series. Blue Beetle's near and dear to my heart, the Ted Cord version. So, of course, I wanted to own the first appearance, which is Captain Atom, number 83. I'm going to bring it closer.
Now, didn't the late, great Steve Ditko have something to do with that, sir? Didn't he create that?
He was the creator of Ted Cord, right? The Blue Beetle.
Look at that book, people.
So that's the book.
Look at that book.
Take a look at it.
Sniff it.
They can't sniff it through.
Yes, you can.
We like full disclosure here. How many Blue Beetle books do you have, Captain Adam?
That first appearance, I had 4, and
now down to 3.
I sold one to Jarrett, who's our fellow member here at the Real Short Box.
And he's going to sell another copy to me, and then one to Darren, so he has one left.
Sure, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yes.
Anyway, this book, the reason why I got it graded is not to get it graded to resell or for value purposes. It's because I want it encased. I wanted it to be able to display.
He wants it mummified.
What I like to do is I set up a light system in my bookshelf, and I can set a CGC book in the case, and then I can put the action figure of the hero next to it, or like the pop toy, something like that, to kind of liven up a little nice display.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So those types of books to me are nice because they're heroes that I appreciate and value that I don't want to resell. So I get them graded and encased for posterity's sake.
And the posterity of the timestamp from August 19th, 1966.
Right. So that's for, that's basically what you're doing if you're collecting. Now, there's people that collect for monetary purposes. They don't collect to resell, but they collect to know that their collection is of value, if that makes any sense. So you get somebody, let's say that they have let's just look back in this case back here.
Oh, I have some featured items here, actually.
Yeah, hit me with something.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so this is first Silver Age appearance of Captain America. This is Avengers number 4. This is here in the shop for sale at We Can Be Heroes. Check it out.
Reza, is that a favorite of yours?
Not particularly. I mean, it's a good book, but it's not one of my particular favorites.
So you're glad we advertised it then?
It's one of Kevin's
favorites. It is a good book, though. It's like if you're a Captain America fan, it's definitely a good one to have in your collection.
If you love America and are a patriot, you will buy that book. Am I right, Reza?
Yes.
Am I right, Pete? Is that an accurate statement, Pete? If you love America,
and a true patriot, you will purchase this book.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that each one of those has a specific kind of value or appreciation to the person that's a fan of it.
It is interesting. Like, when I was younger, Captain America was very uncool. Like,
really?
For me in particular. I don't know about everybody else. He wasn't a popular character. It was a Grunwald run that he had been going on for 75 years writing Captain America. He kind of hit a wall years ago and was just, hitting his pace and, okay, well, he's going to put out another issue and Cap's going to have a sandwich in this issue, and it's going to be great. And then he might fight Crossbones again. So it was just like, to me, he wasn't cool at all. There was nothing cool about Captain America. It wasn't until the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I actually started to
respect him
more. But even a little bit before that, Mark Waid's run on Captain America actually brought him to prevalence, for me, and made me think, oh, wow,
he's far less corny.
He has something. There's something there. Yeah, he stands for something more than just America. Because when you grow up and people are like, oh, you gotta love your country and America and stuff. When you're a teenager and or a pubescent piece of shit, you kind of push back against that. And you're like, oh, Captain America, come on, slow down. Just,
Pete, you want to say
just say you're the captain.
Are you insulting the youth of America like that?
Let our special guest give his 10 cents
different.
here.
I really don't know anybody who didn't like Chris Evans, his performance in Captain America.
Right.
I mean, he did a really, really great job, and that's what made the character essentially really, really mainstream.
I forgot he was a Human Torch. He did so well.
That's America's ass.
Yeah, that's the most relevant thing he's done, and not to his discredit at all. I mean, it's something major.
So, Donald, speaking of pieces of shit, what are your feelings on people who sell pages that they rip out of key issues?
They're okay. So,
look, it's like the Dead Sea Scrolls,
this
man.
is tough. I've seen it online, guys. There's an Action Comics #1 where it's like page number 17 for sale, and Superman doesn't appear in it at all, and it still goes for like what, $30,000 or something.
It's like the Dead Sea Scrolls and having a piece of history.
Right. I appreciate if you find a book that is completely fucked up, right? It's like torn to shit. There's bubblegum and rat turds in it,
Wait,
right?
guys, I just want to ask: is this a family show or is this?
I thought it was.
I thought it was, but I failed.
I thought it was PG-13. I tried.
Well, we're after 8:30, and on the East Coast, this is actually 11:30 p.m. So we're basically
Kids don't have bedtimes these days,
Cartoon
man.
Network time.
Kids don't have bedtimes these days. They're up to like 2 a.m. now.
I'm not their mother or father.
You should
So
be.
what you're telling me is I could say fuck.
As long as you say it just like that, Hawkeye.
So
Fantastic.
let me get back to the page thing.
It's an acronym.
Before Kevin rudely interrupted again. He should change his name from the pontificator to the interrupter.
Wait, I thought he was the pontificator.
No, I'm the educator.
Jesus, Kevin.
And I'm going to
know your
educate
name?
you very shortly.
Good Lord. All right. If he was a transformer, he'd be an Interrupticon.
Oh, I love it.
That's pretty good, right? That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
you should coin that.
Yeah, I think I should. I'm going to put
Hey,
that underneath
so-
the next video that we make. He's Kevin, the Interrupticon.
So that makes you a loudmouth bot.
Hate your country.
Yeah, I guess that could work.
A loudmouth
Ooh,
bot.
I don't know if it
Hey,
goes
no,
off on
it
time.
doesn't at all.
Oh,
no.
well.
I just schooled you.
You
Accept
did.
it. It's fine.
All right.
So these pages, I understand if you find one that's covered in shit and gum and whatever, and you just want to take out each page and get it encased and sold to make a little money. That makes complete sense to me. It really does. But if you're the type of piece of shit that takes a book that's complete and decides that you're going to make more money by splitting it up and selling it, go to hell.
Wow, do you really mean that?
Plain and simple.
Strong
You
words.
say that they
You're-
should burn in the depths of hell.
If you're taking a classic comic like that
Mhm.
from the 30s, 40s, 50s, anything around there,
Mhm.
and you're ripping out individual pages in
Just
order to
to
sell,
profit,
so
to-
you can
to
profit to raise your profitability, your margin on that you're going to
Special
get.
place in hell for you.
There is, yes.
Okay,
How
so
dare you? How dare you do that to a comic book?
So as they say
Times
in
are
the Muppet
tough,
movie,
sir. Times
moving
are
right
tough.
along. I want to go
Agreed.
to this is something that Kevin and Donald and Pete, please jump in if you like. Reza, feel free to shout your opinion as well. Donald and Kevin, I want a really just strong view from you, if there is one. What are the pros and cons to CGC versus CBCS?
Before you interrupt me, can you go
Okay.
and then say what you're going to say? Because that's what an Interrupticon would do,
Okay.
right?
You got to do the sound
He's
effects.
got to do the sound effects. Man, this just keeps getting better and better. Okay, but I'll let you go first.
All right, give me some pros and cons, if there are any, versus CGC and CBCS.
Well, first, let us, I hate to say this, take a dump on PGX, unfortunately, because they have a bad reputation of books being easily breaking into the chamber, people replacing books and putting in an older book in, a less quality book in.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard some horrible rumors about PGX, so that's why they're kind of seen as the distant third.
Dude, what is this, the Alex
Cousin.
Jones channel? Wait, what are you talking? Is this some conspiratorial nonsense? Is
Hey!
this serious?
He's not joking.
I'm not
Hey,
joking, man.
Really?
I'm not joking.
There's some serious credit to this story.
Putting gases in the case, so when you open them, your children turn into lizard people.
There you go.
It's just not PGX
It's a
though.
free
Now,
advertisement.
we're getting it was to the point where it was CGC as
Info
well,
wars.
but CGC has since rectified that system.
Yes, with their chamber.
And,
They
and in
redid
fact,
their
the
casing.
casing, yeah, is
Matter of fact, a friend of the show, we won't call him by name because
Right.
he's a humble man, but he told us about the new standards.
yeah, and it's made out of vibranium now, like Cap Shield, so you literally can't bust it.
Really?
Yeah, Made out of vibranium. I had no idea. I just found this out.
That is very impressive.
Very impressive.
And now the other lord of the shop is here. The man of many miracles. The man who is the viceroy of Santa Clarita. Let us give it up for the one and the only. You know your name, sir.
Because you forgot it?
Julio.
Seems like
Julio. Our man Julio.
Remember now.
Look at him. Look at him. The viceroy of Santa Clarita.
I was just talking about that just like 2 seconds ago.
Really?
This book?
That book right now.
nice.
We were just praising the book and how we miss Steve Ditko and his brilliance.
Yeah, I literally just.
Yeah.
So let's get back.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Let's get back on topic.
You want to know
here.
if there's a difference between CBCS and
No, your
CBCS?
preference. These are
Oh.
advantages or pros or cons in your view.
I like both. I mean, put it this way. If you're looking to make a quick buck, since CGC was there first, they're considered, the gold standard, then get a CG seed and put it on eBay or whatever the case may be. That would be, CBCS,
Right.
you can sell it too for CBCS, but wherever CGC has has that
Don't forget about the two things too that they have that's a little different.
CBCS?
CBCS versus CGC.
Yes.
CGC has the blue tint
Yes.
to the casing, so a lot of people like the aesthetic, the look
Yes.
of the comic in the case. It gives it a different
It is
look
very beautiful.
Yes.
in the slightly blue tinted case versus CBCS. Also with CBCS with their grading with the signatures.
Yes. One major difference is, this is something that's an advantage for CBCS. If you want to get a book signed and you don't have a witness there, professional witness to say, oh yeah, the artist or the writer really signed it, CBCS, you can pay them a little bit of money to verify the signature and still get credit and
Right.
say that, yes, this
This
book was signed
actually
by
signed.
so-and-so.
And
And
how
that-
much is a little bit of money?
Well, sir, if
Probably a lot of bit of money.
Just
I never
out of
looked it
curiosity.
up.
No, it's $15.
15 bucks
per signature though, right?
per signature.
15 is signature.
Look at how quick that answer.
We have
is.
we have
There
that
you go.
we have that tick book from, well, God, good Lord, 13 years
we have
ago.
a Comic-Con tick comic.
There's
where
only 50 in existence.
there was 100 people that signed it or 50.
50 people signed it,
50
but
people signed it.
50 for 50. There's only 50 versions of this book with 50 signatures. We have 2 out of 50.
It's
If we were to do that 15 times 50,
what, that's $750, right?
pretty much, that would be a lot of money for us to have all those signatures verified and authenticated and blessed
Right.
by the company.
Right. $750 just to verify that those signatures were correct.
Now, that book
were
sells
real.
good, but believe you me, it's not worth it. Now, maybe as Donald and myself continue to make various revenue, maybe we'll take it in one day and have them verify all 50
sure.
signatures.
Yeah.
So I want to take a quick break from CGC and CBCS, and I'd love to come back to this in a little bit. But so currently, right now, I'm going to move over to Pete. Pete is joining us here today
Hello.
because this is indeed, for those of you who've seen the Avengers and have seen the Avengers Age of Ultron, this is Hawkeye. Now, you might think I'm crazy, but this is absolutely
It's the truth.
this is Hawkeye. So, Pete, as we were sitting here talking about some key issues of Hawkeye and stuff, which I will get into in a little bit of the character, I really wanted to have you here to share with our audience just your experiences about working on the Avengers. So, the first question I'd like to ask you is, as you were the body double of Jeremy Renner,
Yes.
now we can see you clearly in these movies. Like, there's no debate whatsoever. This is you.
Okay. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
How do you
What don't you
maintain
buy?
11% body fat?
I don't buy you were the body double. I'm gonna need proof. Hang on.
Oh,
Hang
man.
on. Hang on.
Do we have a photo?
Well, first of
Hang
all,
on.
we have to ask, how do
Hang
you
on.
maintain 11%
Take your
body
hat
No,
off.
fat?
just don't be an interrupticon.
Oh.
Put that on.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
wow.
There it is.
Put it on.
Oh, goodness.
Should we play the Avengers theme?
Do we have the rights to that?
No, we
Alan
don't.
Silvestri, a Pete favorite, as I know.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if I can do this right.
See, we
I
don't
think it's
rehearse
inside
ahead
out.
of time, people. This is proof.
It's inside out, but that's
This
fine.
is live.
Yeah, there
That
we go.
works. Okay.
So apparently this is the Hawkeye mask.
So what do we think, everybody? He looks closer, better.
More like Batman well from the
What do you
Tick.
think?
Yeah,
What do you? Yeah.
yeah.
So let's
well-
talk. I'd like to know how you got this job.
Yes. So I didn't have to wear this mask. So how I got the job? All right. So
Wait, you can take the mask off.
Okay,
Go-
good.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, take the mask off. Instead, though, I've
yeah.
got something else.
Oh,
Let's-
you do?
Let's get you to try
Wonderful.
these on.
Oh, even better.
Oh.
Even better.
Now, they might be not your team, but that's okay. Try those and see.
Oh, fantastic.
There we go.
I like it.
Okay, so
That's
that's
it.
Okay, I buy
That's it.
that. I buy that. Okay.
So how did I get the job as Hawkeye's essentially body/photo double.
Yeah.
Well, a producer kind of stumbled upon my Instagram page. Okay?
What?
I kid you not.
Hold on, time out.
This is how this happens, people. This is Hollywood. I mean, come on. Yes. So I had one of the producers hit me up and say, "Hey, are you interested in? Do you like Marvel?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, of course." He's like, "Would you be interested in essentially being in a Marvel movie?" Okay. And I said, "Absolutely. Why not?" Like, okay, cool. So what he had me do was, he said, "I need a full body picture of myself and a shot of my arms." Okay.
Bathroom selfie style?
No, just no, kind of just like through a mirror or whatever.
Okay, cool.
And obviously, but they said we want you to actually be flexing in these arm photos. I kid you, I can't make this stuff up. So, so I was like, okay. So he's like, send it to this casting company, and we'll get back to you. And I was like, all right, I will do this. So I did. I took the photos and I sent them off to this casting company. And within 24 hours, I heard back and said, "Hey, you have the job." And I was like, "Is this really happening? Is this real?" Like, and sure enough, it was. So they sent me the information and where I needed to go. And the next day, I believe it was the next day, it might have been a day after, but I got to the studio where they were shooting. I believe they were shooting at Manhattan Beach Studios in Manhattan Beach, obviously. And I got my own trailer, which was phenomenal.
Yep.
And they put me in the Hawkeye suit, the actual suit that he wears, and they gave me, they put my hair exactly how his was, and they gave me the bow and arrows, and
wow.
I was there, and I was on set. I was on set for about a week, essentially doing. I believe these were like the pickup shots and reshoots that they were going for. Because apparently the Jeremy Renner he wasn't available at that time, so they needed these essentially these shots of him doing these specific actions.
Yeah, Starbucks wouldn't change his schedule, so he couldn't.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you're actually, so I've done body double work and stuff before. Depending on the project, will give you different tasks. So what exactly were you responsible for as the body? Like what was your job essentially?
Basically, at any point in these reshoots where he actually Jeremy Renner did come in for one day, but so all of these shots where you don't see his face.
Yeah. So
it was me. So essentially, there's a scene in the first Avengers where he goes into, I think it's supposed to be Germany. He goes in to pick up this crystal, this rock. And Loki's there or whatever, and so he goes in. He picks up this. I forget what it is. It's been a while.
Tesseract?
Not the Tesseract. Oh. No, it was a rock that they needed to essentially get the power from the Tesseract. I forget the movie. But anyway, so like I said, Jeremy wasn't there that day, so it was essentially me picking up the crystal. So that's essentially me in the movie, not Jeremy Renner. And they actually said, like, "Hey Pete, you're actually kind of bigger than Jeremy Renner, so you're gonna actually make him look." Bigger than he really is. And I was like, you know what?
We'll get popular for that remark.
And you maintain 11% body fat.
So if Jeremy Renner looks like huge in that movie, well, thank me for it.
Wow.
By the way, has he personally thanked you for it?
No, he did not.
He should,
unfortunately.
So you didn't send Starbucks to you at any point in time, and then like a gift certificate.
I wish he did.
All right. So
you have to approve your arms.
Yeah, they did. Not Jeremy. No. So essentially a producer was like, all right, so I do have a tattoo, and they did have to cover that up a little bit, but
I feel like you would have an app of yourself.
So here's the deal, and keep in mind that we have a lot of industry friends that watch this that we pitch to, so be polite. Could you just give us like memorable interactions you had with the cast and crew? Actually, let's wait for Donald to respond here to, it looks like Jared.
Jared said his daughter just said, "Fuck, shit, piss balls."
What a guy.
Help with that.
All right. So,
nice.
So what memorable interactions with the cast and the crew can you share with our loving audience?
Oh, man. Okay. So I was on the first Avengers.
By the way, I'm going to be an Interrupticon.
You do that.
Real quick. Maria was almost a body double as well.
Really?
For Maria Hill.
Oh.
She was actually... Yeah, pulled in. They were going to put her in as the body double, and then they found out that she was editing on the movie, and they were like, "Oh well, since that's conflict. We don't want to deal with that. You just go ahead, no problem, And she was, legitimately bummed, and as anybody would be, because they're like, oh, we want to pull you and put you in the movie.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, never mind, we can't.
Yeah.
I was like, ah. So there was almost 2 people that we knew that were a part of that. Anyway, get back to it.
So memorable interactions. So actually, Maria Hill, Colby Smulders, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's actually really, really nice. I worked her on the first one. I can say phenomenal things about her. But my most memorable moment was actually on Avengers Age of Ultron. So they actually invited me. They enjoyed my company so much that they invited me back for the sequel.
How could they not?
I mean, come on. And so I got to work with Scarlett Johansson on the second one. Okay. So my God, like, okay. She looks great on screen, but in person, she's stunning in person. I just gotta let that be known. So not only was I Jeremy Renner's photo double in the second one, but I also got to run lines with Scarlett Johansson. So essentially, she was pregnant during the principal photography of Avengers Age of Ultron.
Okay.
So she had to come back and reshoot her scenes months later. And so, and again, Jeremy Renner wasn't available for that. So I had to step in and essentially play the part of Hawkeye. So essentially, all of her scenes in Avengers Age of Ultron, she's not with the group. All of them are shot separately, which is crazy because it's seamless. So I was playing the role of Hawkeye, and I got to run the lines with her. And that was quite an experience, I must say. And she was really grateful because I put a lot of oomph into those lines. You put
passion into lines. Passion.
And there's actually one scene where Jeremy Renner gets injured at the beginning of Age of Ultron, where they're going into the bunker at the very beginning. And so Jeremy's like injured on the ground, and she's like kind of giving him not CPR, but she's kind of working on him a little bit. That was actually me. She was kind of feeling up there.
She worked on you.
That was me. Yeah. And so she was. She's. All right, I'm just going to say it. She's a little bit of a flirt, guys.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
That's kind.
She was very, very sweet. But
sweet on you.
But she is also just
sweet on you.
She's a really nice girl.
A flirt how, Pete? Or is there? Did she say things to you in confidence? She does not want to.
She asked me, well, I guess you work out. As she was kind of feeling my chest. So.
I get that too.
That's a nervous comment.
I was just a little. I actually couldn't believe that it was happening at the moment. But I'm like, is Scarlett Johansson really feeling me up at this moment and telling me that
she's harassing you?
Like, this is actually kind of
harassing you. Oh my
goodness. Can of chili beans, right?
Okay, so
and then Josh Whedon told me I did a great job.
You see, that's a good thing. When Josh Whedon validates your hard work,
yes,
that's a good thing.
All right, so and also too, I'm not going to confirm nor deny that you might currently be working on a certain Marvel film coming out May the 1st.
Speaking of flirts,
I most certainly do not want to put you into an awkward position. But is there anything you can share with us that is not going to put you in a compromise?
There is an NDA involved here.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, yeah. What I will say is, yes, they actually did invite me back for the Black Widow movie.
Excellent.
Yes, and what can I say? I can't spoil anything.
Don't spoil it. No, don't spoil it.
I will say the Taskmaster. Wait till you see this villain. Like, he's going to.
So you're saying that our books will increase in value as an Avengers 95 and 96. Oh, hallelujah!
If this guy isn't one of the most popular villains coming out, I don't know. Then I don't know.
Ooh,
50 cents well spent.
A little bit of a secret tidbit in there.
Now, quickly, Pete.
I heard this guy.
Now, real quickly, Pete. Who's your favorite Avenger?
Oh wow, my favorite Avenger. You know what? Let me think about that for like 3 seconds. My favorite Avenger is Star-Lord.
Ooh,
bet you didn't think that was coming.
But technically, he's a Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but he was part of it.
True, but
I think for like a hot second.
A hot second.
So we'll get back to this at the end. But I'd like to go to Kevin now and get back to CGC and CBCS. What is the first graded book? This is amazing trivia we're talking about right here, folks. And I see if this is true, because I was going through message boards trying to find verification on this, but apparently a book called Kalinas Presents the White Guard #1 from 1949
was one of the first books, at least
Did you say
graded
Kali Ma?
almost.
Great movie.
Oh, Mum Shabai. Oh, Mum
Great
Shabai.
movie.
All right, so
And also Donald Duck, like a Donald Duck book as well.
Yeah,
a Donald Duck book.
That's respectable.
All right, so Kev, what are some books that you were like extraordinarily happy that you got graded?
Let's see.
It wasn't
My Hulk.
Fantastic Four #5.
Oh no, well that's
Donald, you're ruining my next
You're
question.
ruining
now.
this question, man.
My next question.
You talk about Interrupticon.
Oh,
Wow. Them fighting.
You
words.
talk about an unoriginal icon. Come up with a new name, Kevin.
Ooh.
Anyway, so what are books that you were really happy that you were able to grade?
Well, let's see. My Green Lantern 76 that I had signed by Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil. I was happy where that came out, especially for a book that's essentially at this point 50 years old this year. 7.5, and it's one of the very few books out there that's signed by both artist and writer.
Do you regret any books that you had slabbed, so to speak?
Well, he gave it away a little bit.
What, do you regret it, or were you just disappointed in it? And I don't think you regretted getting it graded and slabbed, because it's preserved now. Like, no more harm is going to happen to that book. Why would you not want
Now, I guess you can counter that and say that had I not known that a page was missing, that
you would have sold it?
Yeah,
Or you would have felt better?
I would have felt better. But you know what? It's okay. Sometimes you have to know.
But then if you would have sold it and somebody would have found out and you didn't know, then
they'd be mad at me,
it would be
cuss me
right.
out,
So you're
sue
better,
me, all that good
you're
stuff
better
over
off
eBay.
doing it in
Well,
just
I was hoping
not
for a better
passing the
grade.
buck.
I was hoping for a better grade. You know, it's a 0.5, although it's still worth, over a G. But still, I was hoping that, because when I read the story, it was such a smooth read. I think, I had no idea a page was missing. But
what's that tell you about the story?
Yeah.
Now, Donald, here's a question. And the Interrupticon might jump in on you here, but this is something I'm really intrigued with.
Mhm.
So you guys, I would say, are pretty even in how many books that you get graded on a yearly basis. Who do you think works faster?
Oh, CBCS
You're
for sure.
not Donald.
Sorry.
I like it. He
Wow.
apologized on camera.
sorry.
Okay,
I'm
so if you're not getting
It's
your
fine.
books cleaned and pressed, and it's just like a regular book, it's going to be CBCS. I think right now they've got a special where they do like a 5-week turnaround, I believe, something
What?
like
I
that.
say what?
Yeah.
Mhm.
How much more is that?
6 weeks.
Is it 6 weeks now?
6 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I think it was originally 5, and then they changed it probably to 6 or something. They were
How
like,
much
"You
more
can't do
will that cost?
I don't think it's really any more. I
Okay.
think it's just like a guarantee that they have for a certain level tier of book that you can get graded. So they're a little bit ahead of the game on CGC as far as that's concerned. But if you're getting it cleaned and pressed, maybe CGC hasn't beat by 3 weeks to a month, but maybe not. It's tough. It's going to depend on the book. And also keep in mind that CBCS, they still don't grade magazines, like magazine level comics. So the I think it was a Savage Tales book, that first Man thing that I got done. I had to go through CGC because CBCS simply doesn't have the capacity to grade those books. So
Now, Kevin, I know that you're one of the conundrums facing your life of last year was getting your Blade book back.
Yeah, 6 months it took me to get it
6
back.
months.
6 months. I remember it was August 31st of 2019 at Long Beach Comic-Con. I sent it in.
yeah, it's a long time, man.
And
Were we there
I-
6 months ago?
Yep.
Wow, time flies.
And I literally just got it back a couple of days before Valentine's Day.
Now,
God.
just
Just
to
your
give you,
Valentine.
It was.
So
it
What
was.
a gift.
It was a wonderful gift.
so to give you, say what?
I took Fantastic Four #2 to Comic Con.
Speak up a little bit.
Fantastic Four 2 to Comic Con,
Uh-huh.
and I dropped it off on Saturday when I got there. I got it back a month before the next year's Comic Con.
Good
CGC?
Lord.
Wow.
From CGC.
Was it pressed and
Wow.
cleaned or something?
No,
Just
Or did they lose it?
who knows? But I called
I bet
all
they
the
lost
time, and they're like, "Oh, it's still not done. Still not done."
Wow.
So
No discount either, huh? They did not
11
give you
months.
Credit or nothing.
Cheap sons of bitches.
CBCS though, I did Comic Con. They did the 6 weeks turnaround. I called them on the 7th week because I hadn't got my book back, and they said, "Don't worry, we'll send it out next week, and you won't have to pay for it," which wasn't true. They just gave me a credit for the future.
Oh, well, that's
Which is
still
fine.
super
Better-
nice.
Super better than
Yeah.
CGC.
Plus, if you talk if you go in to get your books graded, CBCS still does the old school. sit down with you,
Yeah,
talk with you.
Yeah, talk to you.
It was actually quite a nice therapy session for
It was.
me. They asked me about my family
Yes.
and stuff, and we had a good conversation.
Absolutely.
So I felt very cleansed.
The guy gave you
my
gave
aura
you his number
felt
too.
lifted. Yeah, and I got his number. It was great.
So
So I got you a date for Valentine's.
So that
we were
other-
able to talk about Blade. It was very
so
sweet.
that other grading
nice.
system, PS2 or whatever it is, they wouldn't do that.
PGX.
Okay, they wouldn't do that to you. Okay. So
they probably have the fastest turnaround. It's probably like a 2 day.
Yeah, PGX will arrive at your home and grade it there,
So-
and then they'll be like, "Can you make me dinner or something while I'm here, please? I'm
so
hungry."
in honor of Hawkeye being here with his presence, I did a little research myself because we're going to get into grading, but just to give you some intros of some examples of how different grading can be on your books, I did look up some key Hawkeye issues. So we have the first appearance, which is Tales of Suspense number 57, obviously with a full origin story of Hawkeye. So the lowest I found graded at a 5.0, which for a book of that age is a solid grade. Can't
that's
hate
the
on
lowest
that.
grade.
That
amazing.
I was able to find. $550.
That's not bad.
Oh, okay.
I think that's relatively reasonable as people, jump around, and I know everyone was looking for Luke Cage for a while and all these other things. And honestly, you're in that thing. I did, however, find an 8.5 on eBay that someone's selling for $3,000.
Okay.
I think we're in a little more of the thing there. The first appearance of Ronin, New Avengers number 11. Now Raw, this was $10 to $20. 9.8, it was $40.
That's it.
I think so too. I think that's very low.
Yeah, that's super low because it costs what is it, about $38 to get your book graded.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
And then $17 for shipping.
It's not worth
Yeah,
it.
unless it's like a second print or something. Like, I don't understand.
Pretty
That's
much any
really...
book is going to cost you about $50 to $60.
The only way it'd be worth
graded and shipped. Keep that in mind.
the only way it'd be worth sitting in is if you were absolutely certain it'll get a 9.9 or a Gem Mint 10. That's
What's
the only way.
Julio? What's the most ridiculous book you've seen graded that someone said? And you might actually even be able to do this because isn't that something that you like to do?
I got a great one.
Get
for you.
ridiculous graded books or something? Or
Yeah,
is that-
something for us.
Where's that Wally?
Wally actually buys the most ridiculous ones on
Okay.
purpose.
Yeah, then that's
He'll
Wally.
get them for like $13 on eBay,
Uh-huh.
and some guy spent $50, $60 getting it pressed and everything.
Yeah.
Wasn't this one.
The absolute most ridiculous thing I've ever seen graded was from somebody that one of the customers that comes in here. It was a Hyundai Elantra owner's manual, the Walking Dead Survival Guide edition.
Yes.
And it was a 9.6.
Yeah.
And the guy was trying to sell it to me. He said, "Hey, look this up, man. You're not going to find another one of these online." I'm like, "Yeah, because nobody wants it."
How much did he want for it? I got to hear that.
He didn't even give me a number because he couldn't figure out what it was worth.
It was
I
an
couldn't
owner's
figure it out.
manual with the Walking Dead.
Yeah,
like,
it was the
guide
owner's
in it.
manual for a Hyundai Elantra, I think like 2012 or
Coming
something
from the
like
gallery
that.
Gallery
here today, folks.
When you walk through the maze, walk through the maze that they had set up there, and they had the
I didn't
Hyundai
know about that.
Walking Dead edition, and they were giving them away free.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's worth for
So
basically
sometimes
nothing.
just because something is rare or there's not a lot of them graded or out there doesn't mean it's valuable.
Right.
Well,
It just means
naturally.
no one's dumb enough to get it graded.
Naturally.
Except
So,
for one
They're done with someone.
so
Yeah.
just
Except for that one
so
Clearly there was someone.
and another key here. This is an interesting book because I will put this into a slight prospecting category.
Uh-huh.
Coming in raw at $40, a 9.8 at $67. Young Avengers number 1 with Kate Bishop, Hawkeye. Now
That's going to be a key book coming out.
I know.
The prospectors get that book
Yes.
now.
Don has 3 of
I
them.
don't care if you're on
yes,
the shitter, don't even wipe. Just get up and go get that book right
yeah,
now.
Pete.
That is also a Disney Plus series in development right now.
It is
Very
Kate
dirty.
Bishop.
developed as an it's going to be made.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
real thing.
Which is why that's going up.
Yeah.
Do you have a
And
copy here,
finally-
sir, to sell at the store?
I do we have one here for the store?
And
What?
Young Avengers.
Young Avengers number 1.
You know what? It's funny. Every time that it does come in,
Goes.
it goes like the next day.
Yeah.
Now-
See?
I
It's
thought we
hot,
had
guys.
some, but
Get
I
it.
figured
Get it
was
while you
sold.
can.
Now,
Do we got any
finally,
new comments? Any new comments?
There's one.
Oh, from Maria. She says, I wanted to wear the cool suit. Oh, she's talking about being what's her face?
Maria Hill.
Yeah, Maria
Yeah,
Hill.
yeah.
Thank you. Jesus, same name. She said, I wanted to wear the cool suit. Would have been way cooler than special effects production assistant. That is what it is.
Now, and
You did a good
finally,
job, though.
finally, a major key book here. right here, we have Tales of Suspense number 60. This is my own personal copy. This is the second appearance of Hawkeye. And what makes this such a key issue is I own it. End of story.
Now, Darren, by you owning that book, do you feel like it should be worth more just because you own the book, essentially?
Well, I mean, that goes without saying. Thank you. Mine's better. I haven't even seen yours. Mine's better.
He owns it.
So this is a thing here, like...
Get a CGC?
No, I don't want to get a CGC. Okay. I like my books raw, too, sometimes, guys. Okay, so back on board
you
here.
Be careful. That's how you get your books pregnant.
So guys, I want to talk to you about grades, because some people, so if you look at, for example, we are currently at war, or Donald mostly is at war, with securing this X-Men #1 that is about a 1.5. I think it's 1.5, yeah. So that book at a 1.5, as opposed to like Young Avengers #1 at a 9.8, clearly we're not in the same grade category, but also clearly we're not in the same value category either.
Right.
So how do we kind of do you guys have like a guide of how you like to work out your grades? And obviously if you have a book that you're like, oh, this is probably a 4, but it's so valuable, I have to get it Slab. Like, what makes you kind of make these decisions?
Well, I'm going to say like buying books that it's tough, because if you want a particular book, like for example, if you want something that's of Ghost Rider quality, first appearance, which is Marvel Spotlight #5, that book's been going up and up and up lately. It's actually been
because Nicolas Cage, right?
It's appreciating value. Yeah. So yes, definitely because of Nick Cage. So that book, I was extremely happy to get at a 4.0 quality. Now, it wasn't graded when I bought it. And it's not something that I need in pristine shape. It looks nice. It presents well. It has some scuffs and stuff because it's an all black cover on the outside. So it shows its wear more than a lot of other books. So for that one, I was very happy just to get a 4.0. I didn't need a high grade, and it just looks nice. So that's good enough for me. But if you're talking about what would make me want to get a book besides just like trying to get something like the Blue Beetle, like I have because I love the character, it just depends upon the character itself on whether I can justify getting a lower grade or a higher grade, and that is dependent upon the importance of that character to me. Obviously, if I want to flip something, if I want to flip a book, I'm not going to get it graded unless I'm 100% certain it's going to grade out high. I mean, we're talking like 9 and above.
But even still, that could be slightly debatable too. You might, because someone might prefer, if you're a hardcore collector, a raw book might be what you want.
Exactly. That might be preferred. It's just like a lot of people. I don't like vintage books signed. I don't want it signed. If you have, and no offense, Kevin, if you have a Fantastic Four first appearance of Silver Surfer signed by Stan Lee, I don't want it.
Actually, for the second.
Okay, either way, but we're just talking. I don't want it, and that's because he signed it. It ruins the value of that book to me. So, but I'm different than you. You get something classic like that, and you want the creator that created this classic piece to sign it, and that completes that for you, and that's a beautiful thing, and that's fine. That's something that I appreciate that you appreciate. And that's what us fellow collectors should do. We should appreciate each other's collections, no matter how big or small, how important it is to you. It could mean the world to somebody else. So lesson for this, don't ever demean somebody else's collection, ever. No matter what they have, if they have it and they're proud of it, be proud of them for owning it and liking it enough that they're sharing this with you, this moment, this collection.
Pete, do you own any CBCS or CGC graded books?
I do not.
Okay, Kevin. So what I want to ask you is there a specific number you look at when you're getting ready to, when you want to get a book graded? Do you want it for just posterity, or is there like, oh my God, there's going to be a huge grade on this. This is the number I want. This is the number I'm shooting for. What makes you decide? Do numbers play into it for you in a heavy way, other than the obvious?
Once in a while. I mean, man, it's for posterity. Like for that Blade book in particular, I followed Donald's advice about getting it cleaned and pressed, and it came out a little higher than I thought it would. So I have to admit, I was quite pleased.
Now, we know someone who cleans and press over at our sponsors, correct?
Yes, indeed, we do.
Yes. Over at Spiro's Heroes, Carter and Span.
Carter and Span.
Right? They do pressings, and they do a nice job with their pressings.
All right.
So yeah, definitely if you need to get a book pressed, they're good people to reach out.
And I think this is an opportunity to inform our crowd about Spiro's Heroes, our lovely sponsor.
Yes. The godfather of comics. You cannot go wrong there. Elliot, a righteous man, a wonderful place of 300,000 comics.
300,000.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug, indeed it is, because it's a righteous plug. There's a Marvel room, a DC room, an independent room, a room for everybody to enjoy yourself and just delve deep into the joy of this wonderful hobby known as comics.
And if you get a chance, definitely pop in there and tell him the Real Short Box sent you. He'll give you a wink and a smile, maybe a handshake and a hug,
and maybe even a Godfather discount.
And
maybe even
one of these graphic novels.
Ooh.
Now this is available here though at We Can Be Heroes.
No,
right?
That's
your personal.
This is from Elliot Spiro.
Okay.
Remember,
this is from the Temple of Comics.
He literally, for our efforts, said, "Hey guys, feel free to grab yourself a graphic novel," and I grabbed this Flash 75th. Celebration of 75 years. Generous.
That's very nice. Very nice.
Generous.
You see, visit the Temple of Comics in Canoga Park, and you may be blessed in the same way. Just as you'll be blessed coming to this place, this newest Temple of Comics, We Can Be Heroes. The two high priests of Reza and Julio, wonderful men.
God.
You can't go wrong. Come to We Can Be Heroes, and you have all these beautiful variant books.
You got chili beans too.
Chili beans,
guys. Chili beans.
All right.
And you can say the J word here.
and you can say the J word here. I don't know what J word. Oh, I know what J word you're talking about. Yes, you can say the J word here.
So I want to get back to Hawkeye here since we have him here with us.
Yes.
Now, Pete,
I'm here. Yes.
what project in the MCU are you most looking forward to?
Oh wow. Okay, so I'm looking forward to a couple of projects. One of them, Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3.
Volume 3.
And that's only because I like where they left it off in Endgame, where you have the Guardians going back up into space to find Gamora, and kind of Thor is now like an honorary member. Like I mean, I want to see where that goes. That's
pretty cool. It's
really cool.
Cool
That's
cliffhanger.
so
I like that.
cool.
Cool
I
cliffhanger.
love the way they did that.
And also, one teaser you're forgetting from the end of Volume 2, him.
Right.
Warlock.
Also, prospectors.
Yep,
Prospectors. Take note, Omega the Unknown, #1, first appearance of Omega the Unknown.
I think I have that.
That is a possible character that they've rumored to be in the third Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not set in stone. It's rumored. It's cheap. Pick it up. If you're on, you can wait if you're on the toilet on this one, but just pick it up. It's important.
So just to go off of that,
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then I'm also equally looking forward to Spider-Man 3, the newest Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
With Tommy
installments.
Holland.
Justify
Tom Holland.
this one. my
Correct.
friend.
Well, I really like what they're doing with Sony, because now they have this agreement where they can put MCU characters in these Sony movies and vice versa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So you're going to see, Venom showing up in, a Spider-Man movie, and Carnage might maybe showing up in a Sinister Six movie.
And Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will probably set that up.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's some really, really good things.
There's a lot of huge potential there. Definitely.
Matter of fact, that's the movie I'm looking forward to from Phase 4. To be honest, just kind of the only movie I'm looking forward to.
I am now. Once I heard that Sam Raimi's behind it.
Ooh.
buddy.
Sam Raimi fans here.
Yeah, we should really just shameless plug. Donald and I do have photographs with one Sam Raimi.
We do.
As we were a part
worked
of
with
his
him. It was
assistant
great.
directing
And these
team.
guys didn't invite me. Shame on them.
No,
I'm pretty sure I did, actually.
yeah,
You did?
You're just too busy.
you're always busy.
I mean, you got
You were like, I got to make a
This
DoorDash
moves
delivery
fast.
at 9. I can't do it.
Okay, so Pete.
I think it's true too.
Okay, so
DoorDash?
Pete, once again, just be as
Grubhub, I don't know.
as grotesque about this as you can
Sure.
with these two envious fools. How awesome is the Taskmaster?
Oh
How
man.
awesome! Like the actual Taskmaster that will be in this movie.
You guys are gonna like it. That's about all I can say.
That's as obnoxious
he's
as you
selling
get.
Rez is ready to sell his
Got it
book.
home.
Like
For
Rez
real?
ready to sell his
Get
book.
all of your Taskmaster comics ready, because
Get 'em ready.
I'm
Get 'em
pretty sure
polished.
this villain is going to be very, very
That's
popular.
why I picked it up like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
2.5
Um,
years for me. 50 cents at a garage sale.
I can tell you firsthand from working on the movie. So.
Okay.
Okay, that's very fair. So, little inside baseball for our audience here. At the bottom here, I do have this little section called "If Time Permits."
Uh-oh.
And since we have an opportunity here,
there is an
I am going to sit here. So, this is something I'd like to kind of possibly revisit or visit, in all of our podcasts. So, a lot of you not only like reading these books, not only like to prospect. I'm just trying to get all three of you here. Not only like to hear about rumors and things of that nature, but you love the television and film content that we have here. And since I found it, We Can Be Heroes, this really awesome 9.8. Whoa!
Yes.
Star Wars deal here. Pete, since you're the guest, give me your thoughts on the Clone Wars, which are debuting next week.
Yes. Okay, so the Clone Wars. What a great show that is, honestly. Like, the Clone Wars, so it takes place in between episodes 2 and 3. So that would be Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, right? It really gives you an in-depth look into Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship that you really didn't get from the movies.
Wasn't fleshed out.
Okay.
I mean, it was. I'm a prequels defender. I really enjoy the prequels.
Well, at this point, I am too.
Oh yes, we've had this conversation. But the Clone Wars really, if you watch Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, then you watch the Clone Wars, especially this next season, season 7, which is going to really bridge the gap between the movies. It really fleshes out mostly all the characters in the Clone Wars, including Anakin and Obi-Wan. So it's great. It really is great, and it has my favorite character of all time, Ahsoka Tano.
Ooh, excellent. So let's talk, Donald. This is probably up your wheelhouse. The Walking Dead World Beyond.
What's that?
This is a new Walking Dead thing.
Another show?
I guess the question I can ask you is, do you need to see more Walking Dead on television?
No.
Why not?
No. Because Black Summer, which Julio, one of the shop owners here, is actually in. He's in it. He's in Black Summer.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
Yes, we do.
Talk about it now, buddy.
We just did. People can rewind this.
He's in it. You got to watch it. Okay, so it's not really him, but there's a guy in there that looks just freaking like him.
Anthony Anderson?
I'll put it. I'll post it on Instagram, guys. Everybody listening, everybody
so
watching.
Are you, sir.
I'm gonna post this shit on Instagram, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, that is him."
Okay, fine, Donald. Since that was a strikeout there, I'm gonna ask you to talk about Disney Plus's Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay, that's got Falcon in it, and also Winter Soldier.
Okay, but do you want to see more of these characters in the form of a TV series?
Well, yeah. It's also, I believe, the U.S. agent's going to be in that, right?
Yes.
In that series?
I think they revealed some on-set
and it's
photos.
Played by Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell.
Oh, yes.
Boy, he looks like a goober in that suit. Have you seen the pictures?
I have.
Yeah, I think you showed me, right?
But would you tell it to his face, though?
Yes.
You would tell it to his face.
Yes, I feel you
know,
look like
That guy's going to probably play Snake Plissken in the Escape from New York remake.
Oh,
Possibly.
wow.
His son.
Possibly.
Jump in, Pete. Feel free.
Oh, I like the fact that it has Baron Zemo as the villain from Civil War.
As long as they put him in,
Helmet Zemo.
they need to put him in that costume. And in fact, some cut scenes from.
I want to see him with the mask.
Yeah, from Winter Soldier was they had him in the costume, but they cut those scenes out of it. So that's something I'm looking forward to seeing. Hopefully, they'll put him in that because that's a great costume.
Okay, so we don't need to, for time's sake, we don't need to hear Kevin and Donald on this as we have them on record multiple times. Pete, any thoughts on Bloodshot?
Well, so actually, believe it or not, a really, really good buddy of mine, and actually one of the producers on my film, is really good friends with Jason David Frank, who is the online version of Bloodshot.
Okay.
But man.
Yes.
Wait a minute, Jason Frank, that's not the Power Ranger?
Yeah,
Yes, so he
plays
Bloodshot on the Valiant web series.
Really?
Okay.
Yes, correct. So I'm actually partial to his version of that character, Bloodshot. But I think Vin Diesel will do a fine job as the mainstream version of Bloodshot.
Thank you.
And you're bigger than Vin Diesel.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm with you. I'm excited about Bloodshot. I know these two guys are the opposite side of our spectrum on this,
Okay.
but I'm glad to just get a little backup here.
I like to look at it. The glass is half empty. If there's more than half in the glass, I'm pleasantly surprised.
International box office, I think, will be the key to this.
Yes, High
success.
Priest.
Do you think Bloodshot now, since he's playing by Vin Diesel, is going to be all about Family Dog?
Absolutely.
I mean, that goes without saying.
100%.
Absolutely.
All right. One more. I'm just going to go here. Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
Initial thought.
Oh.
Okay, so I like that the Vulture is going to be in there, and it's going to be played by Michael Keaton. Yeah, so that's an exciting thing that they're sharing that. Looking forward to that. We might even get some Venom action in there, just like a tinge of it. Am I excited about Jared Leto playing him? I just think he's fine. It's just the character's so emo to me. It's just like it's like following the adventures of a goth kid around, and I don't know if
I thought you liked goth kids.
If that's been my cup of tea.
You said you like Twilight
movies.
You said you like Twilight.
Hawkeye.
I have yes. So this is just pure speculation on my point, from my point of view, but I believe that in this Morbius movie, we are going to get a giant setup for the Sinister Six.
You're probably right.
I believe, and because this is Sony, this is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get not only Morbius, I believe we'll get Cletus Cassidy in prison.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get the Vulture. We'll get Scorpion from Homecoming.
What about Alfred Molina?
We will get some sort of Dr. Octopus cameo.
Yeah.
I'm calling it right now.
If they brought Alfred Molina back,
it's smart.
People would have a heart attack.
It's smart to do that.
Alfred Molina was brought back.
That would be super.
People would have a heart attack
if they brought Alfred Molina back. Yeah.
J. Jonah Jameson. I mean,
that's true.
Amazing.
That's true.
So, as we're about to close out here, Donald, are there any raw books you have that you are definitely on board with getting them graded? At this point, is there anything that you're like, wow, I need this book?
Yeah, I think I should get my first appearance of Alpha Flight, which Kevin helped me out. It's Uncanny X-Men.
It's like 121, I want to say, something like
134,
something like
somewhere around there. I don't know. It's around that time. First appearance of Alpha Flight. I think that's going to be prospecting wise. It's going to be an important book. Also, I like Alpha Flight, so it'd be good to get it cased. Get it graded. It just looks like a real sharp book that I got. So.
And Hawkeye, will you be buying a comic book at some point in 2020?
I'm sure I will.
Okay, great.
I don't know which one, but it will happen.
And Kevin, your turn, sir. A raw book that you would like to have graded.
Well, after the information that our good friend of the show, Pete, has told us, Avengers 196, that first full appearance of Taskmaster is looking really good right now to be CGC'd next month at WonderCon. I'm going to turn that book in.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little lightning round here, and I'm going to include the panel here as well. Donald, CBCS or CGC?
CBCS.
Pete?
CBCS.
Kevin?
Ooh, well, after my Roast Reese experience, I guess CBCS for now.
Julio?
I cannot answer that question because I'm a dealer for both of them.
Right. Reza?
BYOB.
Okay. Juice?
CGC.
All right. And I will go with PS2. Now, the thing that we're going to go with here.
Wow.
That's right.
Look, PS2 is an awesome console, but I don't think they grade comics, though.
No, they don't. Yeah. I'm going to start my own comic
grading. That's how you broke your system. You kept putting comic books in there going, just grade the damn thing.
No, I say I'm going to do my own comic grading system. You know, the bottom one's going to be, what is this shit? You know, that's just going to be what it says.
Yeah. You should get some of the most bullshit books. And just take it up there and see what the look
to
on
Oregon,
their face.
to Oregon.
Yeah, just the look on their face when you show up.
Take one of those free comic day books.
My Crash Test Dummies comic.
Yes, that's it. Take that one. Take that one.
This one here, where I drew the dick on the guy.
Nice.
Huh? Take that one and get that graded, and then they'll make an annotation of giant penis on face on cover.
Well, I think one that I'm definitely going to get graded here, guys, is The Walking Dead.
Oh, that's it!
Wow.
With the cards included.
The cards are included in there.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
The Walking Dead right there.
That's fantastic.
Yes, this absolutely.
That's some good artwork.
And you play one of those
Louis
characters.
Castillo. Louis did that artwork.
Maxwell Lord. Which, by the way, how do you
Good
feel about Maxwell Lord being played by Oberyn Martell in the Wonder Woman 1984 movie? How do you feel about that?
Is he Canadian?
Wait. What?
Is he
Who's
Canadian?
The guy who played
Pedro Pascal. The Mandalorian.
Is he Canadian?
And Oberyn Martell, the guy who got his head squished in Game of Thrones.
Is he Canadian?
I don't know.
No. Okay, then I'm good with it. Let's do it.
What are you against Canadians?
He doesn't like Alpha Flight, apparently.
Isn't it clear that they should only exist in the DC universe? And I mean, they're a little oversaturated in the DC universe.
Ryan Reynolds is Canadian.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Well, it's a CW. It's a CW joke. Bring filming back to Los Angeles.
All right. Well, I think
Julio's Canadian.
that's pretty much going to wrap it up.
Bring it up to Los Angeles.
We've divulged into chaos, so we're going to call it here, I think.
Except I'd like to push one more item here.
Oh, yes,
here,
the shop.
Yes,
One more item.
This lovely Doctor Strange right here.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at the artistic gesticulation. Look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
That's
phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Beautiful articulation. Look at
You
that.
know what? If you bought that and opened it up, you could take it over to McDonald's and you could hold your McNuggets.
It looks like Benedict Cumberbatch, doesn't it?
That's pretty
All right,
cool.
guys.
There you go.
Thank you so much for joining us. God, I don't have a business card handy. What platforms are we on?
We are on,
Jeez.
obviously, on YouTube. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. We're on Spreaker.
Spotify.
Blueberry.
Joe Mama.
And Pete, thank you so much for joining us. We really hope you can join us again in the
Hey,
future.
we'll have you back again in the future, sir. And you have to share the secret. How do you maintain that 11% body fat figure, sir?
Healthy eating and a lot of gym time.
Here you go.
Oh,
sir.
man, look at this.
Oh, thank you
Look at
so
this.
much.
Gets the belt.
Look at it. It gets the belt.
What?
What
All
about
right.
the spinner belt? Remember the Cena spinner belt?
I do.
I used to own that.
Oh,
You still own that belt?
so good.
All
All
right.
right.
With all
Well,
that
thank
being
you for
said,
coming out.
my name is Darren.
My name is Supreme Chancellor Kevin.
Pete, Monaco.
And I'm Donald.
So he thinks.
Maybe we'll see you out and about someday, sometime.
Maybe here at the righteous, prestigious comic shop.
That doesn't have a name.
I said we could be heroes multiple